A freshman lawmaker is taking heat for remarks that critics are calling anti-Semitic. In a tweet, Minnesota Democratic Congresswoman Ilhan Omar suggested that Republican support for Israel is fueled by money, specifically by donations from a pro-Israel lobbying group. We have senior congressional correspondent Manu Raju with details.
Congresswoman Ilhan Omar, in just her 7th week in office, again enduring sharp backlash after challenging support for Israel. The latest, a series of tweets Sunday that were criticized as anti-Semitic. First, in response to this threat from House Minority Leader Kevin McCarthy.
If they do not take action, I think you'll see action from myself on ways that this cannot sustain itself. It's unacceptable in this country.
Minnesota Democrat tweeted, "It's all about the Benjamins, baby." That remark sparking an uproar, including from fellow freshman Democrat Max Rose, who called her statements deeply hurtful to Jews, including myself, calling her statement offensive by implying that Americans support Israel because of money alone. As the controversy grew, Omar sought to clarify her comments by tweeting AIPAC, implying she was referring to the powerful pro-Israel lobby. Yet that tweet doing little to calm the storm. Fellow Democrat Josh Gottheimer called it an anti-Semitic trope that is hurtful to so many Americans. Today, Gottheimer, along with fellow Jewish Democrat Elaine Luria, seeking signatures for a letter they plan to send to Democratic leaders, saying they are deeply alarmed by recent rhetoric from certain members within our caucus. Omar's election last fall was groundbreaking, joining with Michigan Democrat Rashida Tlaib as the first 2 Muslim women to serve in the House. While both have been critical of Israel, they have said that their positions are criticisms of Israel's government, not of the Jewish people. And their allies believe they have been unfairly singled out because of their religion.
I know Congresswoman Omar, I don't believe that she would harbor those sorts of views as they've been characterized.
They are among the only members of Congress to back BDS, which is a Palestinian-led movement seeking to impose economic pressure on Israel. They have said efforts in Congress to target the peaceful movement would trample free speech rights. Tlaib, a Palestinian-American, declined to comment to CNN about BDS.
That's a good question.
We're going to be late. I promise. If you call my...
Call. They haven't responded, though.
Well, please, I'm sure they'll get it to you.
Omar, a Somali immigrant who came to the U.S. 23 years ago, told CNN last week that Israel is indeed an ally of the U.S.
Do you think that Israel is an ally, or do you think it's an adversary?
Israel is an ally of the United States. We want to make sure that our allies are living out the same values that we push for.
Why do you support BDS? Why do you support BDS?
All right, thanks.
Influential Democrats are raising concerns about the Congresswoman's position.
I think the BDS movement singles out Israel. It singles out the only Jewish state in the world, and I believe it's inherently unfair.
CNN senior congressional correspondent Manu Raju is live for us from Capitol Hill. So you are outside of Congresswoman Omar's office. How is she defending this, Manu?
Well, she hasn't responded yet. We have reached out to their office. We do expect a statement to come from her. We also have now heard from the House Democratic leaders here. Nancy Pelosi, the House Speaker, has yet to weigh in. We do expect them to weigh in as well, but they are getting a lot of pressure from some of their members, including Jerry Nadler, the House Judiciary Committee Chairman, and Eliot Engel, the Foreign Affairs Committee Chairman, to come down hard against these statements. So we'll see what they have to say, but there is a growing push among Democrats to come out strongly. Brianna?
All right, Manu Raju on Capitol Hill, thank you so much. And you heard from Democratic Congressman Josh Gottheimer in Manu's piece. He was calling on the Congresswoman and her he was calling her tweet anti-Semitic and offensive. Congressman Gottheimer is on the phone with us now. Sir, thank you for being with us and explain why the remark and comments like this are so offensive.
Well, thanks for having me. You know, I think more than ever, we know the impact, the effects of hate, any kind of hate-filled rhetoric and any use of anti-Semitic tropes or comments. And it's hurtful not just to me, but to many Jewish members I've spoken to. And I think we all agree that what we need to do now is hear from the caucus, the Democratic caucus, and we should all come out and say this is unacceptable. And there's no place for it in our caucus or our country or our Congress, for that matter.
You tweet about how you've been trying to meet with her. You want to discuss this. She hasn't met with you. Tell us about that.
You know, there've been a lot of members talking now for some time because there have been many comments, and you know, I think with the Representative Omar and others, the key is to make sure you have a dialogue and you can actually have a constructive conversation, or you can talk about what these words mean and how these historic anti-Semitic tropes are unacceptable and they have no place in our caucus. And those are the kind of conversations I think we need to have. But I also think we need to speak out as a caucus, which is what we've asked our leadership to do in this letter that Representative Lori and I have written together, and other members of Congress are looking at it now to consider joining. And I think I've heard from many members, we all agree this is unacceptable and we should stand firm against it.
Do you expect that she'll meet with you? Do you expect you'll be able to have a sit down?
I hope so. And
what are you hoping to get from that?
I hope that the representative can hear what others have, which is when you say things like this, not only is it divisive, not only is it hurtful to members, but to many in our country, but actually it moves us backwards, not forwards as a country. We need to come together, and we need to stand up to hate of any form, and of course anti-Semitism is part of that. And then there is no reason why, whether it's from either side of the aisle or where it comes from, there should be no acceptance of this kind of speech. And I really hope that we have a chance to talk about that. And I've spoken to members about it, and I hope that that's really what we can do to move forward.
All right, Congressman Josh Gottheimer, thank you for talking to us.
Thanks for having me. I really appreciate it.
Of course, thank you for being on. Virginia's embattled governor is